as easy and straightforward, which it will be him who will be talking at first, who will be coming, because I call him man of the match, either way, because it is day to day. So we don't want to take much of the spotlight, which he will have to do certain things himself. And also for open remarks. And then after that, I will call him again to come back just to give to clearly drive in the point of the book to you. And also after that, we have a powerful panel here. And it is properly orchestrated to a point where these are the people who have groomed him in different aspects of his life. And it's very important to hear that, because this is a very powerful book, simple, straightforward, impactful. And when you, in each and every part of it, there's that person who will be sitting here. So if you are not one of those people who, because there's so many people here who have groomed him in certain manner when you are here because you know him. If you are not here, there will be so many things. It doesn't mean those who are here, those are the only people who have done well for him or stuff like that. But it's a very important panel that we have today. It is properly orchestrated and selected. And then from there on, we're gonna have, it's gonna be a Q&A question. And I forgot to say welcome to each and every one of you who's watching, who is live streaming with us tonight. So there'll be a Q&A at the end. So yeah, then we'll take it from there. Mr. Chuma, let me not steal your day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ndima, or MC. I've heard you talking big about me, so I'm under pressure to meet up with the standard that you've already set. I'll start by thanking each and everyone that has managed to make it here today. I'm really grateful that you took your time from your busy schedules and decided that this is an event that we see as important. This is something that we want to see through. This is something that we want to attend. So I'm very thankful of that. Also welcoming the people that are joining us virtually who could not make it here due to various reasons. So I'm saying with that, let us have a clearly blurry day. But now I've got, as he's already mentioned, Mr. Ndima, the three panelists that have shaped me and played several different roles in their own spaces, in their own capacities. And also the attendees here, every one of us who's here, has shaped me in one way or form. So it's not to say that because I've got these three panelists, everyone else did not play a part. So each and every person, especially the people that have made it here, you have played a very important role in my life. So with that said, I will start by welcoming our first panelist, which is Mr. Lucas Nkuna from her cancer group. Mr. Nkuna is here with us as well. Also, the next person is Mr. Joe Samuels, who's also one of our panelists. And also Mr. Lawrence Seseni is also our panelist. So I need to also mention that Mr. Joe Samuels is the former CEO of South African Qualifications. He holds other positions as well. I think he will speak on that by himself. Mr. Seseni is our UJ lecturer. He's in the entrepreneurship space. He's a mentor to many young people. So with that said, I've got a very powerful panel, like Mr. Ndima has said. I'm not sure, should we welcome them now to the floor? Okay, so we'll work this out. So thank you very much for coming. I hope we'll have a great day.
And yeah, again, there's a very important announcement that I forgot to say. First of all, if ever nature ever calls, which, yeah, it's nature. The toilets are this side, just straight out when you get out of the door. For the ladies, it's on your first right, like the first right door, this side, it's for the ladies. When you go straight further on, that's where the gentlemen's toilets are. Secondly, this room is built in a way that the mics are all over this place, so that now we are on now. So they're saying it's more of like we're in a Zoom, so that they said we cannot be talking because there are people who are live streaming right now. So the mics will pick up the phones. If you may kindly please, all of us make like they just turn our phones to silent right now so we can have a proper flow. Now it will be him again who will be coming back so that we don't take much of this spotlight. We did say he's the man of the match and will be leading. So it's important that we carry what he says, like what the book says actually, so that you hear it from the horse's mouth. As much as it was in written form, seeing him, it's another story. You know, so it will be important for him. We don't want to say certain things that, you know, that are out of context. It rather be him who will drive this vision to us. And what was the purpose of this book? What is it that he wants us to take? All I know is this man is a leader. This man is a family man. This man is a politician by nature. I say that because there's trouble within, you know, so they say he causes trouble wherever he's been. I don't want to give out a lot. Wherever he gets to, he causes trouble, but he says it depends what you mean by trouble, because he challenges the status quo. There are certain institutions where you find those people, whenever you try to recommend, they will see as if like maybe you are challenging them. And unfortunately, when you have people like Mr. Chuma there, like it won't go, it will end in tears. And that's why he ended up where he is today. He's an entrepreneur who is doing certain things in his spaces right now. After, of course, the trouble has been started. As he said, he cannot be employed because wherever he goes, that's what's going to happen. It will cause trouble. I like to call it this. So he rather starts that, he rather does it himself. And of course, like a way of guidance of how to navigate in life and how to turn your gift into a profit, or how to turn your gift into helping others, those who are looking after you, because as a leader, there will be people who will be following you. And that's what we'll be hearing today. But apart, out of everything, this whole thing is packaged in leadership. It's your floor again, Mr. Chair.
I definitely feel like the man of the match tonight. I think a lot of people have learned to never give me a mic, you know, because I tend to speak. So I don't know what the purpose of a mic is if it's not speaking. But when you give me a platform, I will speak. I would like to think, in as much as to many people, I'm a troublemaker. It depends on how you're approaching me, you know. I don't randomly cause trouble. I don't randomly go off unprovoked, you know. So it's always in reaction to what is happening around me. It's always in response to what is being fed towards me. So hence now you get the label of troublemaker. And unfortunately, in the era that we're living in the spaces that we are living in, if you are an opinionated individual, you'll be outcasted, you know. You'll be thrown the door many times than you can think. But I am of the view that, and the reason I also now decided to write the second book is because of that, you know, to inspire that one individual in various spaces, you know, in various spaces where you might find yourself at, because this is not certain industry specific. It's a general industry specific. It's also a life coach. So you can call clearly Blurry a life coach in a way. So I call it a gift. I call it a gift in two folds. First of all, it's a gift because when you read it, it's a healer, you know, it's a direction, you know. It's a gift also in another way because now, well, when you own something like this, I think we all know it. So the inherent leader title speaks. Inherent leader talks about someone who's born with leadership skills, someone who has leadership in them. So regardless where you put that person, the leadership will come out. So I don't go out in places saying, I want to cause trouble today. So situations come up and I feel compelled to act. So that's what leads to a lot of things happening in and around me. But I'm mostly appreciative of the fact that in as much as you get people who want to make you an outcast because of your being, you get people who are there, who can see the potential and are willing to groom you. And they take steps to ensure that they groom whatever that they see in you. And that is one thing that I appreciate. And that is also one thing that made me to write it in the book, to say there's someone like me out there. There's someone who's like me inside, but they don't know how to bring that thing out. I believe when you read this book, I call it the Leadership and Life 101. It's not complicated, like he said. He read it and he called me after. We had a very long chat. He was telling me in depth of the book. It's a simply written book, simple language. But then when you read this book, you take something out of it. You will definitely take something out of it. I don't go high level, if you get my point. So I take a person step by step. So now if it's a healing process, that's why now it's not like only leadership, it's life and leadership 101. There are situations in life that you come across that you have to deal with. It's also in here, there are work issues that you'll have to deal with. It's here. So I call it life and leadership 101. Let me cut it short, Mr. MC. I can talk the whole night,
Yeah, I believe now we have heard it from the house's mouth himself. So for me now, it will be an easy thing because what's more important, it is to get the vision. Because if we miss the vision or what the book is purposed for, then it was a waste for all of us being here. Now, like without wasting any time, like we have very little amount of time in this room tonight, and we have 3 panelists today. So we just get straight to the point. I'll be calling one by one. Then they will be taking the seat in front. I'll start by you, Mr. Juma. I'll start by you. May you please take the far left seat. So yeah, of course we know who this man is today. He's the man of the match. The second one will be Mr. Lucas Nkuna. May you kindly take the front seat, sir. So here's the thing, like as we have said, it is all calculated. So he's the father, this is the leader in the home. So we'll be getting into that, of which is important. So this is someone who has played a huge role in his life from an internal point of view, like family side of view. The third one will be Mr. Joe Samuels. May you kindly take the front seat, sir. So he's the ex-CEO of South African Qualifications Authority. He wasn't like when he started his term, Mr. Juma at the South African Qualifications Authority. Mr. Samuels was actually ending his term, was retiring, and he viewed some few things about him that he ended up noting about him. They didn't really spend so much time inside, but they ended up having a very powerful relationship after that. I will not be giving you a lot of stuff here because we are selling the book today. I will not be, we are selling, there's so many, like, I will, it's just, some gravy, no steak and other stuff fully because this man has quit his job and he has to support himself and his family. I know there's family here. So he has to do those things, and I will not be giving everything out as yet because the books are there at the back. So whenever you talk about buying, people just You know, it is what it is, unfortunately. But yeah, the third person, like the last person who will be the fourth, it's Mr. Lawrence Seseni. I've seen him at the back. May you kindly take the front seat, sir. So he's a lecturer here at UJ, an entrepreneur lecturer who deals with a lot of stuff. There are certain people who, like, when I saw his profile, as young as he is, his profile speaks volumes. What time do you have to, where do you get this time to do all these things? You know, this man is, yeah, his profile is powerful. It's very powerful, and we can all learn from him. We can all learn from everyone who's here today. If you are someone who starting with your journey, you're starting your leadership journey, you are starting your business, like everyone here, yeah, the people, and we must maximize this opportunity as we network today. So yeah, welcome today, and thank you for honoring the invitation that Mr. Juma has given you. You have played different roles in his life, in his life over the years, up until to a point where he is and of where he's going. One thing I must say, the vision of clearly Blurry, it is very big. We had a talk about the vision. It's not just about the book. There will be a lot of impact that will be done on the ground, which has already started. So it's not just about the book. It is important for me to communicate that it is way bigger than the book. There will be a lot of work that will be done on the ground, because we just don't want, sometimes like execution is needed on the ground, because leadership, you articulate leadership and you also lead by execution on the ground. And I must say, the vision is big. I will come straight to you, man of the match. We'll start it there. Is a born, and it is a leader born or made? Because this is all about that. We have for leadership. Let's take it from there.
No, thank you, Mr. Ndima. You know, and I write in my book, leaders are born, not created. You know, my view on that is that now a born leader wants to make a change. A born leader is a visionary. A born leader sees problems and tries to find solutions. A born leader feels pain when he sees others suffering in his surroundings. A created leader, I don't know, can we say that? I doubt. Created leaders serve their master's purposes, you know. So I think I've said a mouthful.
Yes, and thank you for articulating that, because you've said it there. The thing is, where we are coming, where I'm getting to now, I'll just give you one quote from the book. You know, like when you go to more book launches, it's quote after quote too, like there will be another one. But from my side, for me, I'm here to also make sure that we also buy the book. So from my side, as a facilitator, I will only give like one quote, and it will be directed to him. Like I'll just like read one part which I feel like is important for him to also elaborate more on the leadership side of things, of which you have said. At the end of the book, you have said, let me conclude by saying that a good leader is not one who bullies their subordinates. A good leader is not one who only thinks and cares for themselves, but is one who brings their people along and empowers them to be greater by inspiring confidence and not panic. And you said, and inspiring confidence and not panic and fear, right? It continues. A leader is one with a vision and can communicate it clearly without ambiguity and confusion, which is clearly Blurry, right? And then I hope that one day, I hope that one day, this one's great organization will have that kind of an ideal leader. What will you say? Why is it important for you to say, you spoke about the master right now, like a leader is one who follows his master and listens to his master. And yeah, you communicate that very well. Again, that a leader must be empowering. A leader must be inspiring. A leader mustn't lead out of panic. a leader must communicate. This is what's the main important, must communicate clearly without confusion to the followers, because if the followers are confused, they will not be properly led. Why is that important?
Thank you once more, Mr. Ndima. You know, I think this speaks with the current state of our society, where people think that being a good leader is getting a few people in the corner and letting them support you, whilst the rest you don't care, you know. So my thinking around that, and it came because now I write in the book about how I started the workers' union and how we marched. I led the march of workers to the minister's office in fighting for the workers' jobs. You know, so the writing in that came from those events in which, you know, livelihoods were affected. You know, livelihoods, real people's lives. And you sense that there was no proper leadership in place to comfort, you know. And when we have a sinking ship, as the captain, I must stand there. I'm with you, my children. For me, that's a great leader. Not necessarily stop the ship from sinking, but tell your people, I'm here for you. I think I've said a lot.
Yeah. Yes. Perfectly. Now coming to you, Mr. Nkuna. This is your son, who you have seen him grow. You have seen him, because now those who have read the book, you say like as a son, like he's his uncle, so automatically a son. So you have done well for yourself as a businessman, and he has grown under your leadership in the home. So what was your experience with him when you were growing up, and what traits of leadership have you seen earlier that you picked up, and what have you really done to nurture him to where he is today, that he is impacting so many people? He has impacted all of us here, that's why I hear, and many those who are outside. What are the traits that you have seen in him as a leader, those you picked up earlier, and what have you done to nourish him?
MC, thank you so much. Firstly, let me start by congratulating son. Thank you. Well done. And you know, it is an achievement. Actually, we can't clap it. Look, let me, before I answer you, sir, allow me to say just a few words. I am his uncle, just for the benefit of those who don't know me. My name is Lucas Nkuna, so I'm his uncle. But you know, sometimes English, you know, exactly. It sounds so weak. Yeah. I'm just saying it better so that Mr. Samuel can understand. Yeah. Otherwise, I should be saying I'm his malume. Yeah. Or if we say I'm his mother. Yeah. Because I'm his mother's younger brother. So if I was a woman, I would be his mother. Yeah. In any case. So that's why you see a mother, you know, carry some weight. So I'm actually your mother. So also look, I'm not the only mother here for this evening. And I'm not the clever one who was actually asked to come and sit here and represent the family. It's only that we've got this culture in our family that the young one need to be sent to go and represent the family, so that the elder brothers and the elder sisters, they can watch you and see if you are getting there, so that when they are gone, they know, but you know what, this young man can actually really lead the family. He knows, you know, something like that. So I want to acknowledge my brothers in our presence. We've got Mr. Salani Nkuna, we've got Mr. Elect Nkuna. I come after him, and then we've got Bryden, who's my younger brother as well. Not sure if maybe I'm not seeing it. Then we've got a lot of his sisters in the house, and Mr. Ndima, they are still available. I hope you guys can exchange numbers. So we've got the Chumas here, Mr. Chuma here, my Svara. So it's Chuma, I'm Kuna, so I come from his mother's side. And then, of course, is represented the Chumas here, family. Of course, look, I've got a very beautiful wife. And she's in our presence. Oh, guys, let's clap them for I was a little bit biased, of course, because I'm his mother, you know. So, look, what a humbling experience to have watched him. I saw him when he was like 1 day old. I don't know whether there is something like that called one day old. Normally they say 1 year old. But I also saw him when he was 1 day old, up until where he is today, a leader, an entrepreneur of note, a unionist. Look, that's humbling. I must say that that's very humbling. I've seen quite a lot. You can imagine, I've watched him from day one up until where he is today. I've seen quite a lot in him. One thing that I can tell you about him, I'm just hearing that he's a troublemaker. This I didn't know. I'm hearing from, you know, by the corridors, they say, I know he's a troublemaker. He's a good guy. He's a good man. Right from when he was very young, very respectful. Of course, we've seen it in him. Naturally, his mother was a leader. Of course, he comes from that family, be it the Chumas or the Nkunas, who are natural leaders. So that's why I'm saying I will be a bit biased, Nyana, because we think, this guy agrees with this book. Maybe they said as a family and say, you know what, and agree among the family where a leader is on. It's not made and stuff like that. Yeah. So I will be, because look, in our family, if you were to ask me, we're from a very big family. If you were to ask me how many people are leaders or how many people are in business, in a way you are leading when you're in a business. Yes. You know, it would be difficult for me to answer you. But if you ask me how many people are working, I can tell you there is 2 or 3. But don't ask me how many are in business, because the entire family is in business. Therefore, we are in leadership, almost all of us in the family. So I've seen that. You've seen it, grow up in that environment. I had no doubt in my mind that he's a leader. And today, witnessing him achieving what he's achieving today, we feel so proud.
Like there's certain things we're touching on mentorship here. As so many people, and mainly in the Black communities, we do not get leadership. I myself didn't get one from home. I had to go and find it elsewhere. There's certain values that we are being taught, but mainly like there are certain people when you'll be lucky to have a leader inside your home and who also picks that who also picks up the gift that you have, and then they nurture you to a point where he is, and we really thank you for that. And now coming to you, Mr. Samuels, you have seen him yourself too. When there's a certain instance where he writes in the book, now I'm at least, if you get it. So he said himself that whenever, like there was a moment when he was working so much, he was helping, he was doing, because he has this tendency of doing, within his job spec, he will do even more stuff that's out of his work scope. And he was doing something else too at that time when Mr. Samuel saw you, right? And you didn't even care about that. He was calling you, but you didn't even care. All you were caring about was working, was doing the work and helping the people who you were helping at that moment. And then he called you, and then you didn't even know at that time was the CEO. And then after that, someone came and told you, like, no, did you know, like, that was the CEO in a no, but like at that moment, you were working properly. Like you didn't care, but you were working.